Thanks for having a look at this short introduction to Idea Cruncher. I'd like to take a couple of minutes to explain what Idea Cruncher is and why someone might consider using it. Idea Cruncher is an outliner, which is a simple program for capturing and organizing ideas. The problem that I was trying to solve with Idea Cruncher is simple. When I'm working on a project, there are way too many ideas floating around in my head. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has this problem. When I sit down to start working on a project, I find that my mind bombards me with ideas in more or less random order. It's kind of appropriate that they call it brainstorming because a storm is exactly what it can feel like. Some of these ideas are good, some of them are bad, but most of them aren't in my head for long. If I don't have a systematic way of capturing and organizing the ideas, I know that I'm going to end up losing most of them. So I designed Idea Cruncher on weekends as a way of staying on top of my day job as a software developer. I've been using it pretty much every day since 2005, and it's been working for me. I thought it might be useful for other people too, which is why I put up this website. I'm imagining it might be helpful for anybody who has to manipulate ideas. People like writers, bloggers, students, web designers, software developers, managers, researchers, entrepreneurs, or anyone else who has to keep a lot of ideas straight to be successful in their work. Like I said at the beginning, Idea Cruncher is part of a class of software programs called outliners, which have an interesting history stretching back to the early days of personal computers. I think there are two main reasons why outliners are useful. The first is the way they use a tree structure to manage information, just like the collection of folders on your computer's hard drive. That gives you one place where you can capture and hold all of your ideas. And once you get them out of your head, these ideas don't weigh down your memory while you're working. The second thing, and this is just as important, is that a good outliner will make it possible for you to temporarily hide everything except what you're working on at that moment. It's like a set of blinders that you can use to keep from getting overwhelmed. Okay, here's an example of how it typically works. You start working on a project by brainstorming a simple list of ideas. Some are good, some are bad, but you write them all down. Then, your mind gravitates to one of the ideas on the list, and some important details associated with that idea start popping into your head. So, you select that idea and start filling in the details. And the outline starts looking like a tree. But pretty soon your screen starts getting cluttered, which is a distraction. So you decide to zoom in on the section of the tree where you're having the burst of ideas. When you do, the software makes everything else disappear, giving you the mental space you need to make sure that you've captured all the relevant details associated with that idea. When you're satisfied, you unzoom, and everything that was hidden before becomes visible again. There's a little more to Idea Cruncher than that, but that's essentially how I use it to manage my projects. Big projects are made up of little projects, and little projects are made up of individual actions. What a program like Idea Cruncher can do is help with the whole divide and conquer approach to managing your projects. Assuming that the project has to get done, and usually by a particular date, the only question mark is how good the result is going to be. You have a much better chance of being successful if you have a system for keeping your thoughts organized. So I'd like to invite you to have a look at the website and maybe try out the 30-day demonstration version. I hope Idea Cruncher helps you take control of your projects the same way it's helped me take control of mine. Just make sure that when you're doing all that planning, you also plan a little time for relaxation too, because you deserve it.